are testing foreign domestic helpers is because, first of all, this is the second foreign domestic helper that we have identified that have this new variant in Hong Kong. Not the first one, it is the second one. Secondly, according to some of the contact tracing information, there were some mingling of the different foreign domestic helpers together. So therefore, I think this gathering together or contacts are high risk to a certain extent.
Officials say all foreign domestic helpers will have to be tested before May the 9th. The government also says it plans to make it mandatory for helpers to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in future. A 39-year-old helper was earlier found to be carrying a more infectious strain of the virus, which has the N501Y mutation. Her infection prompted the authorities to put hundreds of families in a Tongchong residential block into quarantine for 3 weeks. Health Secretary Sophia Chan said the woman had recently met up with other helpers and mandatory testing would help reduce the risk of further transmission. Those who received 2 doses of the vaccine before last Saturday or were tested today would be exempt. Secretary for Labor and Welfare Law Shi-Kwang said the city's 370,000 helpers are considered to be at high risk of coronavirus. Meanwhile, the government announced visits to care homes for the elderly and those with disabilities will be allowed to resume from the 10th of next month. Visitors who have received both doses of the vaccine for 14 days will have to present either a negative COVID test results within 72 hours before the visit or a negative rapid antigen test results within 24 hours. Those who are not fully vaccinated will have to test negative for the virus within 72 hours before the visit.
檢測嘅個規模太大，佢工作嘅人嘅地方太少。你如果係咁，你成個東涌得2個地方。如果真係大家呢度有1或者2個人係有感染咗嘅，佢全部爆發晒咯。
咁其實呢個政府做得 OK 嘅，非常好。
要老人家咁樣排久嘅。
唔緊要，唔緊要，唔緊要。
點解咧？即係係咪可以？
咁叫安心啲咯，叫係。OK。
如果禮拜6、禮拜日就多外傭啲，平時就少啲，因為我哋翻學接放學咧都有外傭喺度接放學嘅，所以都幾驚㗎。
Long lines formed outside testing centers in Tongchong after the local resident, a domestic worker, was found to carry the mutated COVID strain. Some of those in line outside the testing centers complained that they were worried about getting infected during their long waits in the queue. There are 2 field testing stations, just 2 in Tongchong. Shouldn't there be more? Because if 1 or 2 people here are infected, that could cause an outbreak here, said a woman surnamed Chang. Another woman said the queue would only grow as she said the scope of testing was wide.
呢個政府做得 OK 嘅，非常好。
But a man surnamed Chow, who was in the line with his mom in a wheelchair, didn't mind the wait and praised the government for the arrangement. The government is doing great. Getting tested will put our minds at ease, he said.
如果禮拜6、禮拜日就多。
A grandmother who was getting tested with her 4-year-old grandson was worried that the mutant strain had been spreading among foreign domestic workers. There are quite a lot of foreign helpers here during weekends, and they also pick up children from kindergartens, she said. Besides the domestic worker, the 10-month-old baby she cares for was also found to be infected. Their infections forced the evacuation of the residential block in Tongchong where they live.